I spy a spy. Four or five men huddled together in a Delhi hotel room. They were going through travel arrangements. Three of them were to leave for Dubai a little later to execute one of the most audacious operations by Indian intelligence agencies. The plan was to smuggle in two sharpshooters into the Grand Hyatt Hotel near Dubai airport. The marriage of the daughter of Daud Ibrahim, India's most wanted don, with Pakistani cricketer Javed Miandad's son had been solemnized in Pakistan. A post wedding feast was being organized at the hotel. Indian intelligence believed Daud Ibrahim would attend it and saw an opportunity to take him down. The task was outsourced to the Chota Rajan gang. The calculation was that neither Indian operatives nor Chota Rajan's gang could have pulled it off on their own. Together, they stood a better chance. The sharpshooters, Farid Tanasha and Vicky Malhotra, had arrived in India and were tested, briefed, and trained at several locations. This could not have been an official operation, so a retired intelligence bureau officer was conscripted to coordinate it. The officer was giving last minute instructions when DCP Dhananjay Kamalakar of Mumbai Crime Branch burst in with his men, his firearms drawn. Ignorant of the plan, the Mumbai Crime Branch had intercepted Tanasha's calls and reached Delhi. They had decided to take the sharpshooters by surprise. The retired IB officer began to scream, but Kamalakar refused to back off. By the time the air was cleared, the sharpshooters missed the flight and the plan was abandoned. The Times of India reported on a retired IB officer's involvement with gangsters and identified him as Ajit Doval. But Doval denied the incident. He told the Mumbai Mirror that he had been watching a football match at home. Doval, an IPS officer of the Kerala cadre, is India's best known spy, mostly inland spy. He is that rare police officer who has won the Kirti Chakra, a military award. Incidents in his professional life are the stuff of legend and films. He is known as a hardliner on terror and Pakistan. He has detractors in the security establishment and the Ministry of External Affairs who wonder if a hardcore operations man can ever be an ideal national security advisor. His critics say Dowell may have an eye for detail and the ability to connect the dots, but not the ability to see the large picture and deploy diplomatic skills. Like most spy stories and legends, it is difficult to sift fact from fiction. But Dowell did play a sterling role in restoring peace in Mizoram. Posted at Aizawl, he assiduously cultivated the insurgents often inviting them over for dinner at his home. For over 2 years, Dowell recalls his wife cooked for the heavily armed guests who she thought were part of a patriotic push. He is also said to have walked once from Aizawl to deep inside Kachin in China to establish contact with Mizo insurgents. The leader and commander of the Mizo Liberation Army, Lal Denga, is said to have acknowledged that Dole had won over six of his seven commanders, leaving him no option but to strike for peace. Dowell's reputation acquired legendary proportions after he apparently posted as an ISI officer and went inside the Golden Temple for a rendezvous with Khalistani terrorists. He stayed inside for several weeks, helping terrorists mine the periphery with dud explosives he had taken inside. The subterfuge lulled the terrorists to believe they could blow up advancing troops, while the government, secure in the knowledge that the explosives were fake and threats issued from the temple empty, planned Operation Black Thunder to storm the temple again and flush out the terrorists in the summer of 1988. His role in the rescue of the Romanian diplomat Liviu Radu, abducted by the Khalistan Liberation Force from Delhi, also finds glowing mention among his admirers. With Romania making no move to release Khalistani terrorists arrested following the attack on the Indian ambassador Giulio Reborio in Bucharest, the abductors felt they needed to kidnap a diplomat from one of the superpowers before they could hope to exert pressure. Dowell spearheaded the rescue, leading teams into Punjab and taking out one kidnapper after the other. The kidnappers were changing hideouts every 10 hours, but Dowell and his team used traps to good effect till the last surviving kidnappers panicked and released the diplomat. Dowell, who spent 6 years in Pakistan in the Indian High Commission, does seem to relish relating his adventures as a spy. He once disguised himself as a Muslim and went to a dargah in Lahore for an evening of Qawwali. Pakistani intelligence officers were tailing him, and after some time, one of them crawled next to Dowell to whisper that his fake beard was dangling loose, forcing him to beat a hasty retreat. His role as a negotiator at Kandahar, where Indian Airlines flight IC 814 was hijacked with 160 passengers, is another high point of his career. Dowell and Nechal Sandhu are credited to have engaged the hijackers for over 110 hours, negotiating the release of hostages and stalling the demand for the release of 36 terrorists held in Indian prisons. One of the hijackers would speak in fluent English for 15 minutes from the cockpit of the hijacked plane, while Dowell would reply in kind, speaking for the next 15 minutes. While India did have to finally release three terrorists, including Maulana Masood Azhar, the negotiators are believed to have done a good job. He likes to find solutions, works tirelessly, and goes for the jugular. Dowell's subordinates worked as hard as he did because they knew that if they faltered, the boss would do the work entirely for himself. Thank you for listening. This could not have been an official operation, so a retired intelligence bureau officer was conscripted to coordinate it. Conscript, CONSCRAPT. Conscript means to force someone to serve in an army operation. His critics say Dowell may have an eye for detail and the ability to connect the dots, but not the ability to see the large picture and deploy diplomatic skills. Connect the dots means to understand the relationship between different facts or events so that you fully understand a situation. Like most spy stories and legends, it is difficult to sift fact from fiction. SIFT, sift means examine something thoroughly so as to isolate that which is most important. Posted at Aizawl, he assiduously cultivated the insurgents, often inviting them over for dinner at his home. ASSIDUOUS, assiduous means showing great care and perseverance. The subterfuge lulled the terrorists to believe they could blow up advancing troops, while the government, secure in the knowledge that the explosives were fake and threats issued from the temple empty, planned Operation Black Thunder to storm the temple again and flush out the terrorists in the summer of 1988. SUBTERFUG, subterfuge means deceit used in order to achieve one's goal. He likes to find solutions, works tirelessly, and goes for the jugular. Go for jugular, JUGULAR. Go for jugular means be aggressive in making an attack. Thank you very much.